The video you're looking at here are Israeli settlers celebrating death to Arabs. We will rape their wives. This was said today in what Israelis call Jerusalem Day. It's the Nakba Day, the remembrance of when Israel displaced over 700,000 Palestinians. So there were these protests or these riots going on today. I mean, just take a quick listen to some of these chants and these settlers. Let me go ahead and play this for you guys. So this was happening all day. Here's actually a Guardian article on the event. So it says Israeli nationalists, that's what they call them, chant death to Arabs in violent Jerusalem Day march, and it got very violent. They actually had to have basically have volunteers escort nuns as well, because again, they don't just hate Muslims, they hate Christians too. Basically anybody that's not an Israeli Jewish person. They stated far-right Jewish marchers call for Palestinian villages to burn as they storm through the Muslim quarter of the old city. So they make it seem like this is just, a Muslim. Apparently they're just targeting Muslims, but clearly that's not the case, because we have videos over here, let me pull it up, of them actually escorting, I'm gonna have to find it, of them actually escorting nuns as well that were also consistently getting attacked. So here, let me go ahead and actually show you. I think I have it saved here. And basically, this is kind of just what they do, guys. Anybody that's not them. And let me go ahead and actually pull this one up. So here's another clip as well. And again, I already showed you this one here. Zoran Mamdani actually made a video on it. And what you see here is Itamar Ben-Gvir actually at Masjid al-Aqsa, and he's also celebrating what he calls Jerusalem Day, where he was waving the Israeli flag as well. And they're all clapping, and he's one of the most far right ones you'll see in office. So here's the actual clip that I wanted to show you guys previously, where it's really not just Muslims, they'll do this to Christians as well. So here's what you're seeing are Israeli volunteers having to escort this nun, while the settlers are basically just chanting, celebrating Jerusalem Day. So the article written by the Jerusalem Post states, Israeli nationalists chant death to Arabs and may your village burn, and Gaza is a graveyard, in a state-sponsored march through Jerusalem to mark the anniversary of the city's capture and annexation. The annual assertion of Jewish control over Palestine, East Jerusalem, has grown more extreme in recent years, and Thursday's event culminated with National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir unfurling an Israeli flag in front of Masjid al-Aqsa, the holiest Islamic site in the city. Most Palestinians in the Muslim quarter of the old city had shuttered their shops, and had gone home before the march began, because it gets so violent. And there's like videos of these settlers just going in and knocking everything they can over, destroying things. There had to be a Jewish person. There was a video earlier that was circulating online of a Jewish man, and he covered his ATM machine. Apparently he owns leases out or whatever an ATM machine. He covered it up, and then when he covered it up, he wrote on it, this ATM machine belongs to a Jew, please do not destroy, because they knew that the marchers were going to go through and just absolutely destroy everything. So it goes on and it says, members of far-right radical Jewish groups who had entered scuffled with Palestinian residents still there, when both sides throwing chairs at each other until separated by police who entered the city that afternoon in force. I've come to show you all that this is our city. This is the Holy Land. God gave us this country and this city, a 19-year-old marcher said. Asked what the intended message of the march was to Palestinians in Jerusalem, he replied that they must leave. This is our country, and they can't just be here and try to stab us or kill us. He said he believed that Jerusalem Day, marking the capture of East Jerusalem, east side of the city in 1967, the only day when Jews could enter the Muslim quarter through the Damascus Gate, though Israeli Jews and Palestinians use the gate on a daily basis. And here's just, more videos of these these settlers, of these psycho settlers. So I've told you guys a bit about my family's history. You know, I'm obviously I'm Palestinian. I was born in the United States. Ethnically, I'm Palestinian, and my family is a lot of them still live in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, deep in the West Bank, and they're next to a really violent Israeli settlement called Yitzhar. I've talked to you guys a lot about the settlement and everything else, and they didn't start actually noticing really settlers around them because they're deep in the West Bank. They saw settlers if they would drive out and everything else, but the Yitzhar settlement specifically, the one next to my family's village that's now extremely violent, it started in 1982. So even after 67, it still took a bit of time for the Israelis to really get deep in the West Bank and start building all of these settler outposts everywhere. Started in 1982, and every single day since, it's been an absolute living hell. And right now, instead, what you're going to see is Mike Huckabee going on social media talking about Happy Jerusalem Day while Palestinians are being brutalized. And you'll start seeing people like Rick Scott, Laura Loomer. I mean, just all the pro-Israel mobsters really just, talking about this and celebrating this. And then if a Palestinian brings it up, they absolutely lose their mind and they call it anti-Semitic. So this is what I wanted to show you as well. Zoran Mamdani, he actually made a post about it, which I found pretty interesting. And he stated, today marks the Nakba Day, an annual remembrance to commemorate the expulsion of more than 700,000 Palestinians between 1947 and 1949 during the creation of the State of Israel and the year that followed. Anya is a New Yorker and Nakba survivor. She shared her story with us, one of home tradition and memory over generations.
And make our way to the staircase that goes in to the roof. There were no windows on the staircase because bullets had come in through the wood shutters at that stage. And next day, we just took what we could carry and went to my uncle Hussein's house in Nablus, because there was no fighting in Nablus. The Zionists were, coming into Jerusalem.
So, of course, who did we have? Congressman Randy Fine commented on that and stated, "You are a walking billboard for mass denaturalization. May the day come to you soon." Stop anti-Semitism, of course, and this is what I'm saying, where they all just lose their absolute minds. Nakba Day on May 14th, 1948, Israel declared its independence. A coalition of 5 Arab nations, including Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, immediately declared war and invaded Israel. Israel won the war. Arab nations created a day to commemorate the embarrassing loss. And then, of course, just continued again, all of these just Zionists. I mean, the nice thing is that regardless, I'm just glad that it really set them off so much, just en masse, to just go ahead and comment on his posts. I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to see a new congressman, some sort of congressman. Who is it? Maybe like Josh Guthenheimer, or just one of the typical congressmen come forward, and I'll wake up tomorrow and there's going to be a law making this illegal to even recognize or even just think about. Eventually, we're going to reach a point where Mike Lawler is going to present a bill to start reading people's minds to make sure that they're not anti-Semitic in their head. I think we're starting to near that every single day. We just kind of inch our way closer to that. So I'm not going to be surprised if I see him co-sponsor something tomorrow, remembering banning this day, banning the celebration of it, calling it a terrorist day, just something along the lines, because that's just what they love to do. So that's it for this video, guys. If you found it interesting, I'd appreciate it if you just go ahead and click the subscribe button below and give it a thumbs up as well. It helps me reach more people like you. And if you haven't yet, definitely consider joining as a member. So if you click the join button below next to the subscribe button, you get to see member-only videos. You get access to those emojis. You might be seeing people in the comments with the John F. Kennedy emoji or the censored emoji or whatever else. You can use those emojis too if you join as a member. Definitely make sure to do that. I think I have a 1-week free trial or something going on with that. So definitely check it out. Otherwise, I will talk to you again soon. Take